Hello, can you hear me? Hi, thank you so much. Yes, Tiffany is a speaker and Darlene. Sue, you're on mute. Boa. Hello. I can see you, Tiffany. Sue, you're still on.
Hold on. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I'm still in bed.
That's okay.
So you are on mute. She probably can't hear us.
I wonder if I can unmute her. Nope. All right. You have to do it yourself, Sue.
Sue. There's little buttons down the bottom, Sue, and you just press the little microphone.
Oh, it's not picking it up.
Maybe if she tries on her phone, it might work.
Yeah, I think. Did it ask you?
Did it ask you?
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
I can't get
The
the
light. I wore my, where is it? Hermit House.
That looks great.
That looks great. Hermit House jumper. Yeah. I wear it everywhere. It's so warm and it's been so cold down here. I love it. Oh, I still can't hear Sue.
Okay. I can hear myself
echoing through yours. Oh, sorry about that. I'm not sure how to fix Sue's. I think she had this issue last time.
In the top right, does it say sharing audio and video?
Audio and video? Mine does. No, it won't give us the option to do it for it. Thank you for trying.
It says you're muted.
Still, Sue. It gives you like a pre settings when you join. Perhaps she had her microphone turned off. There's a little microphone down the bottom. Is that on yours? And if you press it, I'm assuming she's on her computer.
Maybe you got to turn it off
and on again. That fixes
You did try that?
You did try that? Okay.
Can you leave
the stage and then read?
Does anyone have any
questions while we're in? Do the questions come up in the chat?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've used this one.
Oh, you go.
I'm happy to talk about the rescue efforts from last year while we wait for Sue, if you like. Yeah?
Yeah. So if you can see in the top right,
can
see a red
you
button
see a
that
red
says
button
stop
that says stop
audio and video?
and video? Yes.
There we go.
There we go. Oh, she got it.
Tiffany,
Tiffany, if you did want to start talking
the adoptions.
the rescue, yes.
Rescue, yeah.
Rescue, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, we can hear you. Finally.
Yay.
Technology.
Yeah, so I was just going to quickly talk about the rescue. So we have several locations across Australia. Sue Brown is also one of our rescuers in New South Wales. Last year, we had approximately 92 adoptions across all locations, which is fantastic. Yeah, basically, we just take in hermit crabs that are no longer wanted. People can't look after them anymore. Sometimes people put them on Facebook Marketplace to try to sell them, and that's when we try to pick them up from those situations so that they don't make their way back into the the terrible homes that and the setups that they've already come from, specifically the crab use setups. Yeah, it's been really rewarding. Everyone volunteers, but as the Happy Hemi, we support them with food and shells. It's been really rewarding, and I think it's really made a difference. A lot more people are adopting rather than purchasing from pet stores. So, instead of crabs being taken from pet stores and needing to be replaced by the wild crabs that are being taken, we're kind of keeping adoptions with crabs that have already been taken, that are already in the captive system, I guess. So, yeah, that's a bit about what we've been doing.
That's amazing.
Have you seen an increase
from last year?
So I'm not rescuing anymore, actually. So I was running the Victorian sector, obviously, being that it's the Happy Hemi Rescue. But over breeding season, I decided, my husband decided that it was either rescuing or breeding. And no, I'm very passionate about rescuing, but there's so many, people that can do it. Whereas with breeding, it's very, if your crabs are going to do it or not, kind of thing. So I decided to stick with breeding instead. I'm super passionate about it, obviously. So I handed off my Victorian sector to another owner. So we still have someone down here rescuing. Look, I'm not as hands-on with it anymore. It's basically the team is running things in the background, but yeah, there's definitely been an increase in people wanting to adopt rather than wanting to buy from pet stores now that people are realizing where they're actually coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you've both adopted Zoe this year too.
Yes, yeah, I did the first Zoe transport in Australia, which was a bit scary. But yeah, basically working as a team. I know me and Sue were discussing how to try and move the Zoe because they're quite a lot more sensitive than their US counterparts. I know they ship theirs, but we weren't really sure we were able to do that because they need the constant heat and movement. Yes, we came up with a little system, which I trialed. I moved the Zoe 2 hours and it was successful. And now a lot of other people have done it this season as well. So, yeah, worked really well.
Yeah,
And
I collected some from Adam drive away, and they did really well with me until they made it to. And then I think I poisoned them with bug spray.
Yeah, that was awful.
Had quite a few hundred.
We've got an echo. And I'm not sure how to stop it. I'm really sorry, guys.
You're not echoing on my end. Yeah.
I'm getting.
So, yeah, Sue was not the only one that lost a large amount of land babies this year, due to the unusual circumstances. I lost, over 100 land babies as well. I'm still not sure what happened there because I did have some survivors from that tank who are still alive today. But yeah, and I know that another breeder had the same issue. She lost hundreds of land babies as well. So I know Sue said that she believes hers was bug spray. I'm not sure what mine was, and I'm not sure what the other breeders was, but it was very odd this season for that to happen 3 times.
But we all had last year as well. In that we all lost them when they were still in the water.
Yeah, there was a lot of issues last year. Last season was not a good season for me. I think every year we're learning more and doing things differently and seeing larger amounts of spawns, which is great. And welcome, Darlene.
Hi, I was just shushing my husband as he walked past.
I think what we're going to need to do is ourselves when we're not still echoing everybody.
Okay. Check out the questions.
Seems that nobody's got questions.
Oh, what have I done? Did everybody want to talk about their methods, maybe?
I for plans for my class, which I will put up on the readers group. But it's basically just I've divided into and put a divider in the middle. The pump to circulate the water. A little bit of glass at a 45 degree angle. Create the and PVC piping for the
I'm really sorry. I'm having trouble hearing this echo so much.
I think it's me, but I don't know.
I'm not getting an echo.
I think there's a slight lag.
Yeah, it's just dull.
Yeah. I can hear myself talk after talking.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
My cryocell 40 litres, which I've found stable over the 2 weeks. I probably take out 5 litres every week. So that's been really good way.
I'm really struggling with this. Sorry, guys.
The echo's horrible.
I can't hear any echoing.
You can't hear?
No, it's fine for me. I mean, you're a bit hard to hear. I can hear everybody else, but there's no echoing.
And if I mute the stage audio, it's not coming through. Oh, wait a minute.
This is what happens when we're not tech savvy.
Has that improved?
I think so.
No. Maybe I'll just
Karina, what methods are you doing this coming season?
I actually. Sorry, this is really hard. I'm gonna take my earphones off so I can talk. This year I used the 3D Creasol made by Prism Creations. It's Joseph in West South Australia. Sorry. And so that made it a lot easier. I'm gonna take these way off. It made it a lot easier to leave them there and not have to do water 3 times a day. See it. Sorry. Is that still echoing, you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you try muting your audio, everybody?
Does anyone have their phone on? Or two phones?
I'm just on my phone.
Fine.
You've only got one phone. On, Darren?
Yeah, one's on. Yeah, one's logged in. The other one's turned off charging.
Okay, is that better? I can't hear myself anymore. That's good. Okay.
You're not echoing now.
Woohoo! We sold it.
Sorry, guys. It was really distracting. I could not talk. So, where was I? Yeah, we've all actually had the 3D creasels this year, and I think that's made everything so much easier. Not having to change that water 3 times a day, and being able to change the water without having to pick out Zoe all the time. Have you guys had the same experience?
Yeah,
I didn't get to use my creasel much because it came towards the end of all those sports. Yeah.
It was the creasel the 3D one that I used to get Debs to land, the big lot, because my mesh had started to rot because it had been out in the sun for nearly 12 months. And it worked really well. It holds about the same amount of water. Oh, no, it doesn't, as my big self-made creosol. And I think it's the larger volume of water that means you don't have to change it as often. And I think that works really well, and that helps stop the spiking happening. and you can sort of keep a better level of salinity, and you can keep on top of the calcium and the temperature and the dissolved solids and all the muck and stuff much more easily with a larger volume than you can with the smaller volume in the jars. And therefore it's a more stable environment for the Zoe to grow and develop in. And I think that helps.
Yeah, like Sue, I used the 3D Creasel. I only got to use it once because, yeah, like me, it arrived towards the end of the season. But I did find that the larger water volume was a lot better. Having to do less water changes was definitely easier on me, especially when you've got young children. Running a full-time business, you've got your own crabs to look after, and you've got a lot of spawns. It's a lot to try and keep up with those water changes. So I definitely think that it helped. I'll definitely be using mine again this season. I had, what was it? Was it 29 or 21 spawns? It was a lot. I had a
21.
ridiculous 21. Yeah, I had a ridiculous amount of spawns this season, and I had Zoe spinning for a total of 6 months. From October till, I think the last one was April. Yeah, it was full on. Yeah. So I actually eventually, my first successful spawn of this season was not till January. And ironically, it was the spawn that I gave up on. I originally tried to give them away. The day they spawned in the pool, I tried to message some other people and ask them if they could take them. I didn't want them anymore. I was done. But I had another breeding friend, Cheryl, who bullied me into keeping them. She wouldn't let me let them go. So I decided to keep them, and then, yeah, they were raised in a plastic jar, actually, which I had never done before. I'd usually used a glass jar. But I decided to try something different because, 21 spawns later, I was willing to try anything. And, yeah, they were my first successful ones of the season. So just goes to show that even though you have a lot of failures leading up to it, you just got to keep going with each one. Yeah. So, and then from there, I had 2 more successful spawns, all raised in different scenarios. Alfie was left alone to raise himself in the tank pool because I didn't have any more room for him, along with everybody else that I was trying to, all the others I was trying to raise. And the pips were raised in the 3D Creasel. We got over 100 to land, but only 2 of those ended up surviving. Similar to Sue, we, not sure what happened, but I just kept finding naked babies everywhere out of their shells. Yeah, so eventually moved them over, but I only had 2 out of that batch. But yeah, it just goes to show that there's different techniques, and yeah, very, very interesting. Yeah.
We've had a question from Rebecca wondering if the success that we've had has only been with one species. I actually don't know anyone who has straws, and they're the only other species we can get here in Australia. Do any of you guys know anyone with straws?
Mm-hmm.
Used to a long time ago. I was actually offered 5 of them and I declined them.
Oh, you didn't? Who?
Yeah,
Where?
I think it's 2017. It was, yeah, it's a long time ago now, but in the scheme of things. But yeah, I thought, no.
Oh,
Stupid,
Danny.
Stupid,
What are you doing?
I know.
But no, we only have the one species.
The one species. So I do know someone with strawberries. There's another lady called Tiffany, and it's not me, sadly. Another lady called Tiffany Hungerford. I think think that's how you pronounce her last name. I believe she's up in Queensland, and I know that she has strawberries, but I think she's had them for quite a while. I'm not sure where she got them from. I know you used to be able to purchase them, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
breeding wise,
2018 was the last one.
was the last one. Breeding wise, we've only been breeding the one species.
I've seen straws in the wild. On Lady Elliot Island.
Yeah.
Well, that's not fair.
And I think it's worth noting that. Oh, sorry, we got the echo back again. That Tiffany and Darlene have both had like close to or more than 20 spawns this year, which is phenomenal. I don't know how you guys did it, because I got mad with just the 2 that I had. So
I think it's like 38 between us two. I'm not repeating that this year.
I think I'll be repeating it this year. And I took on other people's Zoe as well, so I don't know what I was doing. Yeah. I'm not sure how many crabs you've got, Darlene, but I think I had 45 crabs over the 2 tanks. I had the oversized 4-foot tank, and then the like the 1,000-liter 6-foot tank. Yeah, and the boys and girls, they were just not stopping, and it wasn't even that every single female was breeding. It's just that the females were going more than once a season. I had one female go 4 times, and I was like,
yes,
can you not?
Yes.
Yeah, but I was getting 2 spawns a day. It was ridiculous.
I think I had about 5. But I was mentioning to earlier. I've had a few bringing home to me. And I'm echoing. And I think I've got 65.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's including the 5 bibos.
Yeah,
the babies. And 5 bobs in the other room. From Karina. Sue.
How many tanks?
Yeah, Sue and Deb. The bibos come from.
How many tanks?
So yes, I'll be segregating them this year.
What's happened that we've got
the echo back? No idea.
I think it's gone again.
Hooray.
Yes.
I'm going to get until I get the other 2. So I'll have probably of Deb's. More.
I can't hear Sue again.
She's talking about possible spawns from Deb's again this season coming.
So Karina, I did that poll on what the general public would be willing to pay for captive bred babies. So over at Hermit House in the US, I believe they're charging around $100. I might be wrong. So correct me if I'm wrong on that price. But yeah, we've been struggling to figure out what pricing range to adopt captive breds out in Australia. Obviously, Karina's old enough to go, and she's got plenty that need to go, as well as Cheryl at the moment. I was quite disappointed to see that majority of the public were only willing to spend $20 to $30 on a captive bred baby. Yeah.
Plus, if you mention the live animal transport, it'll bump it up too. And
but even those local,
really.
Sorry, Sue.
That price doesn't surprise me more.
Yeah. there was even some people that said, $5 to $10, $10 to $20 for captive bred babies. No, it was very disappointing. But I think education is key. We've had a lot of new owners join us, this year and getting hermit crabs, and they don't know much about captive breeding. A lot of people don't, and they're not really willing to learn about it because, they think it won't happen to them and it's not really something they need to learn about. And then, they might end up with a spawn and they're kind of chucked into learning about it. But I think, the more we educate people that, these crabs are worth the money, it is important what we're doing, we can make a difference.
I think that's reflected too in the very small number of us from Australia who are attending CrabCon. It's always been the same half dozen or so that attend. People just don't seem to be willing to spend money on learning or doing stuff for crabs in Australia.
I feel like it's slowly getting more and more popular though. I've definitely seen an increase in amazing tanks across Australia with you guys and your group. So it's echoing again. With both you guys and your groups, you are getting that info out there, and there are a lot more people that are willing to do a nicer tank, and I think that's the big difference, and I think that what you guys are doing is working, and it's awesome. So I'm going to...
Not us guys. You're in it.
No, you guys are put in all the work.
It might be your head. Can't hear you now.
Oh, she's on mute.
Muted as well.
There's definitely been a difference in the amount of people, I think, in setting up better tanks and I feel like, a few years ago when the group started, when the businesses started, for instance, when I started the Happy Hermie, a lot more people were fighting against the information that we were trying to share and, telling us that, that's not true and the pet shops know what they're talking about and this and that. Whereas now I get phone calls constantly through the week, messages, text messages, emails, Facebook messages of people, that are thankful that they've, found the right information, and they're horrified that they set up what the pet shop told them to. And it's just really making a difference. There's so many people who are realizing that the pet shop information isn't great, and they are making a difference now. So there's definitely a huge rise in hermit crab owners doing the right thing now, which is just fantastic. So yeah,
I feel sorry for the ones that buy those death donuts and spend all that money only to realise when they find one of the groups that what they've been taught, is wrong, and then they've been stuck out of pocket to start again, type of thing. Somehow we need to kind of change the information from the pet stores. I mean, I'd be happy if the pet stores didn't sell crabs, hermit crabs. So.
Well, speaking on that, I don't know if many of the American people are actually online because I can't see who's here or not. But we are currently putting together various petitions and whatever to stop an application being approved for collection of large numbers of the bigger hermit crabs from Western Australian coast. So if anyone's interested and if anyone would like to add to our list of people complaining about it and putting submissions in, please just post somewhere and we will get to it, get you the information. Stacey has the information, I think, and so has Mary. But if we can get more people from overseas, possibly as well, that might help our cause. They're wanting to collect, they say they only collect 75% of the larger crabs in any one go. I mean, 75% is a huge amount of the population. It's ridiculous that that's even considered.
I also read in the statement.
Yeah.
In the statement, though, Sue, they said that they will go down to 2 centimetres, possibly 1.5, as an accidental wild harvest.
Yeah, in other words, they're collecting all the breeding size crabs, which means I can't see how they reckon it's not going to have an impact. But I don't agree with that at all. However, we are complaining about it. We are putting in various objections to the application. Can't see that it will actually have any real impact, but we're doing what we can. So if we can get worldwide support, that would be even better.
This is our opportunity to stop it, and there are 7 more. Did you say it was 7 more people that were also harvesting? So this is one of many.
There's
that
5 known, and I'm pretty sure there's 7 though.
Yeah. Has anyone got the link?
Not public knowledge.
Application handy?
In the chat. I think I've got it in my clipboard. Let me have a quick look. There it is. So this is that's the link to the website with the proposal, and then you can go in there and read the application.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So anyone and everyone, that would be wonderful. How many people have we actually got here? It says there's 30, but there's not been any real chat or anything. So have we got 30 people listening to us yabble on? If you're here, can you type your name in so we can see that we're not just talking to ourselves? Oh, no. Actually, if you go to people, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Take 4 of us out, so there's 9. No? Oh, God.
School teacher retired. Yay.
My head is still not very clear. I've got the flu. So we have a few. So if all of you people...
Be 7.
Yes. 7 and 5, yeah. That. Right. So if you could all do it. Has anyone got any questions? No? There's only been the one question.
Well, I have questions for you guys. What are you going to do differently this year when you get another spawn? You go first, Sue.
Oh, why? Well, hopefully I will have Nano and Artemis, brine shrimp, whatever you want to call them, ready and up and running, and they will be in the tank when the Zoe go in. What else I'm going to clear out my death tank and give it a good scrub and get a new air pump and lines and air stones so that tank isn't contaminated anymore. I'm thinking about getting an RO system, but I can get RO water quite cheaply and readily from not very far away, so that may not happen this year because I've got to do a new bathroom in my house as well. I probably won't do anything much different other than that, because what I've been doing has been working.
I try. This is I've been breeding for 3 seasons now. 2 of those seasons were successful. Last season was a nightmare. Not successful at all. But I've had a total of either 4 or 5 batches of captive land babies. So every season I actually try something different. I think because I've had so many spawns, even last year I had 9 spawns. I was able to try different things just to experiment and see, what worked for me, what might help others. I know what not to do now. But I think for me this season, I'm definitely going to set up the creasel before they spawn. I'm very much wing it, and then they spawn, and I'm like, okay, now we should probably set some stuff up. Yeah. So I would like to do that early. And another thing that I hate doing, and I do it every season, is I don't pick out the mega shells until I've got the mega, and I hate it. I spend hours picking out shells and wanting to cry. And yeah, so this season I want to get all my mega shells organized before we get mega, so I can just chuck them in. We're all ready to go. Yeah, because I'm very much like pick them out once I get mega, and I spend hours doing it, and I hate it so much. They're so little. So yeah, I'm going to do that in advance. I do my captive breeding a little bit differently to Sue and Karina, and maybe even Darneen, whether I don't feed my Zoe. I don't feed until mega, only because just for me it's worked. I've got nothing against it. I love that we all do different things. I think it's really awesome. Last season I did feed Zoe, and I couldn't get any mega out of the 9 batches that I had. Never got to mega. But this year every batch has gotten to mega. We got 3 batches to land. Yeah, I might try feeding again in the future, but for now, like, it's, for me, it's working with the not feeding Zoe, but maybe I'm just not doing it right. So, yeah, but I'm definitely open to learning more about it, about like the feeding stages. Cause, 3 seasons ago, it was just me and Sue breeding in Australia, and that was it. There was no one else doing it. We were literally just bumping off each other, and we weren't actually feeding Zoe at that stage. So, a lot has changed, and we've learnt a lot since then. So yeah, that's how I'll be going into this season.
Feeding half of each batch, feed half and don't feed half, and see what the difference is. If you're doing it in jars or something like that.
I tried all different things with my lots last season. I had some in creasel, some in cylinders, some in the jug creasel, some in bubble bowls. I fed some, I didn't feed some. I had extra coral bits in there. I had a calcium and magnesium in some. Yeah, but in the end, it all didn't matter because after all that flooding rain we had and storms, our water was contaminated. So there was a lot of TDS in the water, and some of that showed in lack of dissolved oxygen in the water, and they were basically suffocating. So, yeah. So, thing I'd do different this year is, put in a system for RO. Yeah, which Tony's actually agreed to put a sink in my corner here in my office. So I don't have to.
Yet?
No, I haven't got round to it yet, but it's coming. Yeah. It's just one of those things.
A good quality one that he got somewhere for quite cheap.
Yeah, Santry in Queensland. Yeah, I've got my eye on one. But yeah. I mean, all you can do is try. That's what my grandfather used to say. Yeah,
we're all at the breaking edge of science, so we are all experimenting in all sorts of different ways.
Yeah, I learned a lot what not to do, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Karina, what are you going to do differently this season?
She's not having any.
I'm not having
Yes, she
You're
is.
not having a season?
I'm gone.
Oh,
I'm gone.
okay. You better hope that the bobs don't start breeding this season then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this season
I'm
gonna call
call
in the help with the babies once they are on land, because that is the part that I struggle with the most. Is the once they hit land, I am losing numbers rapidly, like everybody else, but also after this second, third molt. They just keep on disappearing. So I think separating them more and getting them out into the world is my priority at the moment, because having so many baby crabs in the house is a bit scary. So, but so my priority is sort of it's getting them out into the world, and yeah.
Well, I took on 5 of Sue's bibbos the day when I took my creasel down. I wasn't expecting to bring any babies home, but I did. And that was probably scary, but they're still kicking on.
Yeah,
And
and
I
that
think,
was
4
the
weeks old.
youngest. It was the youngest adoption ever.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Well, I mean, the bobs, I think the first 2 bobs I got for you were, what were they, 6 months, 7 months or
I
something?
think I was
7
6
months,
or
I think.
7 months
Yeah.
old, and I think this, like over the last few years, I've noticed how strong that they are, and they're a lot less fragile than we realize. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've got 2 bobs from Karina.
People are horrified that the mega aren't pushing their country.
Oh.
They're very fragile. And I've said that a couple of times. I'm terrible, even knowing that.
Because I was saying I've got 2 bobs from Karina. I got mine at, I think they were 15 months old. Yeah, they're both still doing really well, and I have those. I have them housed with my own captive bred babies, so I have a strictly captive bred tank. Yeah, and they're with babies that are, you know, when I put them at 15 months old, they were with babies that were as young as 2 months old. I have never had any issues. I know some people said that they were worried about, you know, sizing the different sizes, putting the different sizes, you know, together. But yeah, I've had no issues. My bobs have been great. Yes, hold on.
It's a crab.
Yes, that is a crab.
Oh.
Yeah, I've had no issues, and you know, they travelled to me in an unusual way. But no, they're kicking. They're doing fine, really well. They've both changed shells. Yeah, I have no issues with them. You know, bullying the younger captive bred babies. Yeah, so hopefully, when my babies are a bit older, we can get some interbreeding going on between the bobbers.
Yeah, sorry, we've got some questions here about, yes. So we are in Australia, so the postage to Indiana is going to be crazy. So that's probably why Tiffany can't ship there. So, but on the bobs, I've got them all together as well. So last year's and this year's, and I had to take them all out of the tank this week. Last weekend, because I had some ants, and I still have the same amount of numbers, but the Bob 2, so the ones born this year, I ended up with more of those and less of the Bobs from last year. So I think that tells me that some of the Bobs are just not growing at all. So they're staying the same size too. But once I put them in a big tank, like when I put them in here with their parents, they just explode in size. And they're the ones that I've been sort of adopting out as they come because they're easier to get to. So so it's been interesting to see how they grow and what helps them to grow too.
Karina, do you have a list? Sorry, do you have a list there handy of the ones that were successful in bringing the babies to land? Like I know Ash was one, Nicole was one.
Do.
Like people might like to know. Yeah,
I sure do. So we got Alex in WA. She had 1. Ash in Queensland, she had 7. Cassie in New South Wales had 1. Kathy in Queensland had 1. I had 4. Darneen, I've got 16 for you, but I think there was more after I did this spreadsheet.
Yeah, I didn't worry about filling the rest.
Yeah. Dahlia had 3 in Queensland. Deb in Queensland had 2. Emily in Victoria had 5. Gerald in Queensland had 1. Justine in Queensland had 1. Christy in WA had 4. Kiara in ACT had 7. Lily in New South Wales had 1. Lindsay in New South Wales had 2. Lisa in Queensland had 1. Melissa in WA had 1. Natasha in Tasmania had 5. Nicole in Victoria had 2. Nikki in South Australia had 1. Peter in WA had 1. Rachel in New South Wales had 1. Sue in New South Wales had 2. Tasha in Queensland had 1. Tiffany in Victoria has 21 on my thing. And Wei in Victoria, he had 2. So that's quite a lot. So overall,
it's
in
a
Queensland,
lot more than
a lot
last
more.
season.
So most
So
definitely.
maybe this year there'll be more. You reckon?
I hope so. I think that the more people that can be successful, the better, and the easier that we can make it so that anybody can do this, it's going to help as well. And
and then we're going to have the problem of getting them out to other people when they're big enough.
Yes,
because we don't have the same setup as they have in the States because of our tiny weeny population and huge big country.
That's very spread out. Yeah.
The transport system is terrible compared to in the States. So we're going to have to really come up with a way of getting it done.
Yeah.
And Western Australia and Tasmania have their own
import
laws where moving animals.
They will have to
and an extra fee.
State.
We need to just befriend some truck drivers at this stage. But it's been nice. I've actually had 25 captive bred babies adopted out this year to people all over Australia, and that's been only to other breeders and some happy homey rescuers as well. So just our most trusted crab people have been able to get captive bred babies this year, but hopefully we can get them out to the rest of Australia soon.
We probably need a slightly higher success rate before we can be looking at
this year we got it.
we did we just blew it after. Somebody asked, who was it? Rebecca asked about the cycle between Zoe and Mega being shorter in Australia. I haven't heard of any other species with a shorter cycle. I think Mary has said the Leylands were.
No, I thought the Ruggies were close and similar. I thought the Ruggies were close. No.
I can't remember. I thought there was one that was shorter than the normal for the species kept in the States, but I don't think anyone comes close to 14 days, which is our basically. If they're not out of the water in 18 days here in Australia, we're starting to get really concerned. So, and that was one thing that this application said for the collecting of the wild hermits. The application from the person who supposedly knows what he's talking about said that they spend at least a year in their aquatic.
12 months.
And I went, oh my God, does this person even know what they're talking about when they're talking about hermit crabs? I don't think so. Sorry.
And the size of a pea when they come to land.
Well, that's about right. Little peas, but that's about right. But you probably wouldn't notice when you're collecting at night, as he does, you probably wouldn't notice the tiny, weeny, little ones. You'd probably only notice them once they got to 2 months, 3 months old, 4 months old. You wouldn't notice the others in the coral-based sand up there. So I can understand him thinking that they're pea size. But spending a year in the water, don't think so. Makes you wonder what else he doesn't know. I mean, we know that there's a lot he doesn't know.
Or has written in that care book that he has that he sells to people as well.
No. Don't even mention it.
I didn't mention
the numbers don't add up either. So if you were collecting 3,000 a night and they were spending a year in the water before they hit the land, you wouldn't have enough. I don't know.
What really worries me though is because he's collecting 75% of the breeding population. And that's scary. Anyway, Any other questions? Did that answer your question, Rebecca? Vivian said, when not fed, are they relying on cannibalism? Absolutely, yes. And
I think they do that regardless too.
Yeah. Or something. The only problem with the natural algae growth, Vivian, is those of us who raise them in jars are changing the water so frequently that there isn't any natural algae growth. So we add nanochloropsis to the water after each water change, but there isn't a build-up of natural algae growing. I use the cryocell and 40 litres of water. I don't know how many gallons that is, sorry. And that does, because I have it up and running, that does tend to build up some algae growth. But I think because I'm using a filter to operate the spray bars rather than just a pump, that may well be filtering out some of the algae. So that is one change I am going to make. I bought it's a fountain pump. So it's actually literally just a pump rather than a filter. And I'm going to be using that to run my spray bars for the water circulation in the cryocell this year. And hopefully that will allow me to develop the nanochloropsis and any other algae, and also a brine shrimp colony, which I'm starting to set up probably next weekend, I think. And yes, if they're not fed, when they get to mega, they are actually seriously cannibalistic, and you will lose a large percentage to cannibalism. Well, that's what I've found anyway. Did you find that, Tiff and Karina?
Yeah, sorry, I just saw that Tiffany's got to go. Her toddler's hurt herself. We'll
Oh,
see you.
no.
Yeah, so I'm so sorry, guys. My kids are awake, but my toddler's crying. She's in a lot of pain. She's really sick at the moment. So I'll have to go. But I found cannibalism at all stages, like at with feeding and not feeding. But like I said, I didn't feed this previous season, so I can't actually remember. So yeah, sorry, I got two kids in here and one of them's in a lot of pain. I'm really sorry to love you and leave you guys. But
right.
thank you for having me. Yeah. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Way back when I started, it was believed that Aussie Zoe didn't actually eat until they got to Mega. And so I didn't feed, and I lost probably 80% as soon as they hit Mega, because they just ate each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were starving. They'd spent 5 days, 5 or 6 days growing and developing and changing and doing a butt ton of morphing and growing and developing without any sustenance. And so they were starving when they got to Mega, and when they got to Mega and they had claws and they could rip things apart, they went to town. And it was amazing. As soon as I realized that they needed feeding, because of, I can't remember where I found that out, but as soon as I started feeding them, I don't even know what I started feeding them the first time around, because it wasn't nano or brine shrimp or whatever. It was, I don't know, probably marine snow or something like that. The loss at Mega Stage was dramatically less. So I really think that it's a vital thing to do to try and keep the numbers up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what other people have found, but I mean, way back, as I said, way back when I first started, and you've got to remember Monster is now 8.5 years old. I think he's the oldest captive bred in the world. Things have changed so much in 8.5 years. He did damn well to survive.
Yeah, definitely.
There was a few of them. Excuse me, got the flu.
Well, when they turn Mega, that's the day I call Carnage Day, because that's the one day that I need to stay home and be on top of them, because they will just eat each other, and it is just carnage, and you will lose at least half of them that day. So, and it happens so rapidly, and I think that's the scariest part of their transition.
And you don't see them doing it, but all of a sudden you haven't got as many as you had before.
Yeah.
I've caught a couple of them in the process of doing it.
Yeah.
It ain't pretty.
No. Rebecca was asking a question.
I think she was making a comment on it.
Yeah, the microbiome. I think it definitely is a big piece, because we've all been using the spray bars with the is it the ceramic noodles
and backy rods
filters? Yeah. And that's definitely had a big difference. I can walk away from the Zoe now for a day or two and not worry about water changes and that kind of thing. So, yeah, it's definitely made it a lot easier.
It helps keep our sanity as well.
Yeah. And I call them Bobs because that's just how we're telling them apart. The ones that I have bred, I've called them all Bob. We've all got different names for our captive bred babies so that when they eventually get together and create second gen and third gen, we can track their background that way.
I'm just wondering if Rebecca was meaning, because she's talking about the biome and whatever, I'm just wondering if she means once they get to land as well.
Yeah. We've all noticed some algae in our baby tanks too. Yeah, I'm not a scientist, so I'm not sure. We're just winging it over here, Rebecca. We just doing our best.
It's usually the green algae, and it's usually a combination of the high humidity with the light source.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hi, Vivian. I think we are probably wrapping up soon. Yeah, actually, yeah, it's definitely like probiotics with humans.
Mm.
No, you're not a pester at all. We like questions.
We did answer your question, though, Vivian, about the cannibalism. And yes, that is a big problem when they're not fed.
And I just like to imagine that they're absorbing each other and making themselves stronger.
I was just going to say, Karina, I think at mega stage, it's the chitin and the high calcium content that they're craving, which makes them want to attack their siblings.
Yeah. Just making themselves stronger.
I found if I kept the calcium level in the water up, they were less cannibalistic, but that may also have been because I was feeding them better by the time I was keeping the calcium level up as well. So it may be relevant, it may be irrelevant, it may be coincidental, it may just be, they weren't hungry because they were being fed. It may be that they weren't eating each other because they didn't need the calcium because they were getting the calcium from the water.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, all these observations that it's all learning. I mean, we still don't know 100% about them. So, I mean, it all helps to figure out what we can add, at that stage.
I think this year I will also, once they do get to that stage, like last year I did try to separate them into separate jars, but this year I think I'm going to do that a little bit more further as well, so spread them out as much as possible.
That's why I like my double-sided cryocell, because I've got one side, I've got a tap on it where I can turn the spray bar volume down so it's rotating more slowly. And when I get to mega, I take the mega out of the fast side, shift them over to the side that I can slow down, and therefore put the shells in there. They can get down, they can get to the shells, and they haven't got their not quite so developed siblings to chow down on. Yes, they all get the same food and stuff because it's small enough to go through the filters. But that I found that has stopped the cannibalism a little bit, because the mega can sort of defend themselves. It's the mega that were eating the Zoe stage 2 that caused the carnage. And the stage 2 Zoe can't defend themselves because they don't have claws, or they don't have effective claws, and they can't swim as well as the Zoe can, as the mega can. So they weren't able to swim away. They weren't as agile in the faster moving water. So shift the mega out, keep them separate. They can eat each other if they can catch each other, but put the shells in straight away. As soon as they get their butts into a shell, they're a bit more protected.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I encourage people to put the shells in on day 5 or day 6. Yes, sorry, American folks, day 5 or day 6, our guys are moving into shells. I hate to say it, but it does make it an intense,
very intense,
because it happens so quickly.
Mm-hmm. And have you guys noticed on hotter days they're even a little bit more crazy compared to colder days?
And storms.
Well? Yeah, and storms.
Mm.
So, and I'm even noticing a difference in the morning to afternoon and sunset. I'm seeing different things.
I had a spawn that happened in August, I think it was, one year, which is the middle of our winter here still. And I was still using jars, and it was nigh on impossible in my cold old laundry to keep the water warm enough. I had it wrapped up in car sun shields and heaters left, right and centre, and it still wasn't warm enough. I had some survivors, but it wasn't a particularly successful spawn. But why they did it in August, I don't know. I don't know.
And you, Darlene, have you noticed the warmth makes a big difference?
Yeah, especially even through the midst of winter, some of the tanks will run at 30 degrees constantly. They think it's summer. Like I've noticed a lot of them are up, mucking around, stalking each other. And I'm like, no, go back down. I'm going to tent back down. But yeah, I have. Yeah. And especially, I think the other day when it felt like rain, when the day got really, really warm, they were more active.
Mm-hmm. So questions just come up. Do you ship to Indiana? No, not at this stage. The shipping is way too expensive, to more than the goods that you buy. So unfortunately, there's no shipping to the US at the moment.
I don't think shipping of hermit crabs will ever happen.
No.
Unless Merv gets his way.
Yeah. Well, they actually are shipped to pet stores at the moment in cardboard boxes and newspaper.
Yeah.
So, and it's another whole big part of the problem. And I guess they're having the same issues in the US as well. So. Does anybody have any questions?
Probably. So I wonder how many people we've got now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, not us.
Okay.
Well, I think I've run out of things to say.
Yeah, I think we have covered all of our topics. How many total breeders, aspiring breeders, do you have in Australia? Last year we had 27 different breeders across Australia that we know of. So that was the most that we've ever had. And then hopefully this year it's going to be even more again. because
I
more
think
and more
there is,
people are setting up good tanks and having spawns.
more and more are keen to. I think they're just, maybe their crabs aren't willing just yet. But yeah, I think we'll get more this season. Every year it goes along.
And we're just working really hard to try and make the process as simple as possible so that anyone can do it.
Mm.
All right, guys. Well, I think we should probably call it at this stage. And if anybody has any more questions.
Before we go, Corinne, I was just going to say, do you have a picture of Vinnie's creasel they might like to see?
I can show it to you.
Yeah. Well, I'd show you mine, but it's all pulled apart at the moment. I had to pull it apart.
Well, I don't have one.
I got two, but purple and blue like Corinne's.
This is by Prism Creations. You can look him up. And this goes into our standard Kmart tank. So
I think it's 22 wide, the width, the length, the memory.
About 4 gallons, maybe. So it's not huge.
20 litres, I think.
Yeah. So we have our spray bar going against our filtration, and it creates the flow. I'm not very good at describing this, but
you do it well.
So yeah, and it just slides into our tank, and what we've got is around the edge here. This is an old air hose, so that creates the seal. So it's just goes right up against the glass, nice and easy. So I love it. Mine's a prototype though, so it's a little bit different to yours. I think yours are even better than this one. So
I think the only difference is it has the double seal with the 2 airline hoses. I think that's it.
Yeah. So
that sits inside a tank full of salt water, and the whole lot of the water is used. But the Zoe and Mega are only contained within the spherical part of it. But because it's in the larger tank, it has a larger volume of water to spread the gunk out.
And it's 3D printed too.
Yeah, and Joseph, he's working on new attachments for the different stages that we go through. So he's our boy genius, creating some really cool stuff with his 3D printer, even for the crab tanks as well. So he's created some baby wheels and all sorts of really cool stuff.
I'm quite sure he will ship to us to the States if anyone wants to try them.
Yeah. Did you want to type in his link, Karina, just somewhere if they're interested to have a poke around?
Follow what along, Vivian? Breeding or the 3D cryocell?
All right, I've got his website here. Just going to type that one in. Where to follow along? Okay, so there is various Facebook groups. We put out information on the forums, and we're on the Zulip chat as well. And I have a TikTok that I share videos on under the name Pix Arena. Do you guys have anything online where you put your pictures? No.
Only my website, but yeah.
Yeah. And Darlene has just started an awesome shop too. So can you put your shop? Can you put your shop in, or you want me to pop it in?
You pop it in because I can't even. I'm on my phone. I can't even see where you type.
That's all right.
The only problem with the groups is we have tried to limit it to Aussies only, because our needs are a little bit different and our shops and things supplies are different. So you probably won't be let in if you apply to join the groups. Sorry about that. We're not trying to be elitist or anything, but it's just the way it is.
But yeah, there is a page on my website though that has some other links, useful links. I'll try and kind of.
Sorry, I'm just getting it up.
There
we go. And Darlene has also been making the most amazing food because she is part of a fisherman family. So they catch all the stuff themselves and dry it and make delicious food for our homies that smell so fresh.
And my crab is so crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So there we go.
It is daytime here too. 9:30.
It's morning tea time. Morning tea time.
On Saturday morning.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's it for us, and we will see you next year.
Hopefully with a lot more people that have bred.
Yeah. And Sue and I will be back for the Breeders' Chat on Sunday.
And we'll be around watching various other things.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.
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 So, Vivian, do we need to stop this or does somebody else? Was it Vivian that was organising it? So do we just stop, Vivian?